hits the ground, hits the shoreline, then, the county local coastal plan comes into play. And Ray Hall is here, and he can discuss that further when we talk about the local coastal plan. But so we do have a lot of different options, and we have been exploring them in addition to the FERC filings.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next speaker, please state your name, 3 minutes. And for your help, we have a little lighted device there for you. And it'll start flashing yellow when you've got 30 seconds left and flash red when your time's up.
And after it goes red, I drop through a shaft here.
I push a button up here.
Thank you, Chairman and Supervisors. My name is Jim Martin. I'm with the Recreational Fishing Alliance. And this morning I was driving up the coast and I was down at Point Arena. I was impressed at all the abalone divers we have on the coast. It opened up April 1st, and I was looking at the Seashell Inn, that little motel down there, and it was just packed with abalone divers. And I just wanted to speak to the economic base that our marine resources represent to this county in terms of bed taxes and guys coming up here fishing and everybody wanting to get out and enjoy. And if anything, all we really want to make sure is that anything that goes on with this wave energy leaves that intact. And really appreciate the supervisors coming out to the coast this week and listening to a lot of concerned people. And I appreciate the county's efforts in following through on the legal aspects of this. I think that we're in a kind of holding pattern. I'm one of the coordinators of the Fish Committee, and as the county and the city, we all got denied for legal status, and I think that's really important where we need to move forward. I think hopefully some state agencies will get involved with this too. So anyway, keep up the good work. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Next speaker, please.
Thank you very much, Chairman Wattenberger. I am very happy that you gave your report, because I'm standing in line to say something that I said to the City Council, and I will repeat here to you. We have state agencies, the Coastal Commission, the Fish and Game, and the State Lands Commission, who have jurisdiction over our state. And with regard to the State Lands Commission, the near-high tide to the 3 miles out. And they are the clients, those 3 organizations are the clients of our Attorney General. Our Attorney General is their lawyer. And I had the opportunity to speak with the chair of the State Lands Commission and one of the other members of it recently, and they're very concerned about process. The fact that FERC, number 1, has no jurisdiction in state waters, and number 2, did not include any public input when they issued their permit, is of concern to me, and I think it should be to you as well. And what I would suggest is that you continue your efforts to contact the State Lands Commission, the Coastal Commission, and the Fish and Game group to ask them to intervene on our behalf with their attorney, the Attorney General of the State of California. I think that that is the way you will get FERC's attention. They are sort of swatting at us as if we're mosquitoes, and we're not. We have the power of the government on our side if we use it, and I strongly advise that you direct your staff to use it. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I got a picture this morning of one of these devices, which is very interesting. And it's not my picture. It belongs to somebody sitting in the audience. But I'm going to pass this around because it shows something very interesting. The scale of this device, 40 of which constitute a farm. Isn't that a wonderful word for the ocean, a farm? 40 of these devices constitutes a farm. And I wanted to show you the relationship of the size of the person standing next to the device and the device, because I think it will be very informative. And I see that I have 13 seconds to say thank you very much for coming to the coast. We really appreciate it.
before you step away, can we keep a copy of that?
It's not mine to give you,
Okay.
but I'm
We'll
sure it
pass
could be
around and
arranged.
get it back to you.
I will make it arranged.
Okay?
Yes, you may keep it.
Okay, and please state your name for the record.
Rachel Bina. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Laurel Krause, and I'm here to represent Ocean Protection Coalition. As you may be aware, on March 29th, we held a moratorium march through Fort Bragg to call a moratorium on wave energy development off the coast here. We wanted to express our public concern that FERC issued a preliminary permit to PG&E for wave energy development and putting in generating devices off our coast. Our group is merging with, the group that marched is merging with Ocean Protection Coalition, and you may remember that OPC embraced a visionary mission to adamantly protect our oceans, including the flora and fauna and the sea creatures and all the wonderful benefits we get from the ocean. Whether we benefit or not, they're still there and we want to protect them. As you may remember, the Ocean Protection Coalition led the ocean protection effort of the 70s and 80s against oil production off our coast, so this is a very meaningful association for us. The Ocean Protection Coalition enjoys a 5013C status, and so we're in full form here, ready to become one of the stakeholder groups involved in the wave energy debacle. We're here for one reason, and we're calling for a slowdown on this swiftly moving FERC process. We also want to participate. OPC fully supports Fish's, Fort Bragg's, and the County of Mendocino's motions for rehearing to intervene. I went through the wording on the intervention, on the motions, and I congratulate you on this. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's great. I'd like you to go a step further. I think that calling for a moratorium is still a valid approach. Rhode Island did it on May 3rd against wave energy and wind generating devices off their coast, the entire coastline of Rhode Island. And so basically, I think the reason behind a moratorium has to do with wishing to have the time to plan, study before deployment. Because in the wording of their preliminary permit, they clearly state that that part of feasibility studies includes deployment. And that is contrary to what our coast wants. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Judith Vitiver. I'm with Friends of the 10 Mile. I'm also a veteran of the oil hearings when we sent the Mineral Management Service packing, and I think that was an instructionary lesson to the federal government, because that's why the FERC process has hijacked the public input processes, because they know what they would get here. Also, to put this in a political context, we have cause to celebrate because the marine sanctuary has been in state waters has been extended to Point Arena. Those marine sanctuaries, which are pretty much covering the whole coast of California up to Point Arena, prohibit the development of any energy in those sanctuaries. It's my understanding that this part of the coast from Point Arena to the Oregon border has been set aside as a sacrifice area, and the reason that they're doing that is because we have very little population, not anything like what they have south of here to